learn a lot about them, how they work, how they should negotiate the translation work every day, because sometimes they have to communicate directly with the organization. So
they should. I mean, we encourage them to contact the client directly, which is, I think, professional work. They have to do that. I mean, it's good for them to start learning how to negotiate with the clients and their needs, their number of words per week or per day, although we have some criteria for that.
Yep, and then they can work in teams and coordinate their teams. Sometimes in some of the trainships, they have lots of pages to translate, and Silvia will know. And they have to coordinate. And one person has to be the coordinator, and then the team works among this project. You will know already.
Yeah.
She was a coordinator of one of our.
Yeah, when we translated for the United Nations for the Department of the Public Information, we used to be like 5 translators, and the good thing that maybe it's different from the professional translators is that even if we are students, it's like a challenge for us. So we translate the text, but we revise it 3 times. Then we have another reviser. Then it was me coordinating, and then we passed everything through them, and then the result was pretty good. And for example, in comparison with UNAIDS, I've been in an internship there during this summer, and I've seen that even our translators made from Salamanca, some of them were better than the translations made there, just because we were more the commitment was different. We were able to do our best, to try our best, and we found out that they have there 2 translators, for example, for Spanish, from English to Spanish, and they are working, but they have no revisers, they have no time because there are lots of text coming, and for us it was like a big challenge to solve those problems.
Yep. Well, this is also a good scenario, as we have just said, because they are not working alone. I mean, they have just like a security net, because they are going to be supervised by tutors. They have tutors in the organization and tutors from the university. So they're not going to be like professionals in a professional framework. So they're going to be trainees, and their work is going to be revised and supervised and everything. So it's not such a problem if they make mistakes. Well, this system is great, as we have just said. For us, I mean, we think so. But it has limitations, as we can see. Well, no, we have to tell the organization we're working with that our students are students, and obviously they work for them, but they have some things they have to take into account. For example, they have to be available. The train ships are not the only thing they're doing, so they have more courses and more classes and more things to do. So we have to tell them that they have to understand that sometimes they are not going to translate as much as they would want to. So then they have the academic terms. For example, they have holidays. They have exams. So they have to be a bit flexible in these things. And then they are not professional. So the results they're going to give them are not professional translations. They know a lot about how translation works and how to translate, but they are going to make mistakes. So they have to be flexible in these things.
Now, if students worked all year long, that would be, if we gave them this service all year long, that would be a professional service, and we're not a professional service, and we want to make them clear that we're not a professional service. Our main aim, of course, we want to help them, but our main aim is to train our students. That's the main aim of our university, and to make them understand what translation is about and what their translation means maybe.
Yeah. Well, I have just said we have to remember that it's not a professional service. They are students. It's a cooperation experience. So both are going to be to get benefits out of it, and it's just a training program. So, although we want it to be a professional service, not to be a professional service, but to resemble a professional service. Why? Because first, the students are going to get benefits out of it. Why? Because they are going to be more responsible for the translations. They are going to take it more seriously, and they are going to learn a lot about it. I think we're going to talk about this later, but this is more or less what we want, just to resemble a professional environment. Okay. And yeah, this was what we were talking before earlier. We were talking about the trying to educate clients, not educate, just to make them know things like the students can translate as many words as a professional translator. For example, for a professional translator, we think it's more or less 2,000 words a day that they can translate, more or less. And we have
established that they can. Sorry about the missing comma there for the 2,000. It should be 2 comma. And now, professional translator can translate, we can say, a maximum of 2,000 words per day, working, let's say, 6 hours maximum. We always say if a translator professional works for 8 hours, it would be in a mental hospital in a month's time. So what we say is, legally, students can only work half their academic period. Legally, they can only have half as many hours as their academic period. But they're not professionals, so they can't actually produce 1,000 words per day. So we say a translator can produce a maximum of 500 words per day. That's the maximum. That's what we tell our organizations. So bear that in mind. That's very important. It's sometimes it doesn't work, so we have to remind them. And again, because they have to understand it's not a professional service. We try to make students understand, to make students, to train students into professional translators, but they are not at the moment, and they have other responsibilities and they have other things to tend to university. We also try to educate our clients about directionality. We can't translate, you know, it's typical that a client tells you, or an NGO or an organization tells you, we want translation into from Spanish into Polish. We don't have anybody translating into Polish. Okay, then translate it into French, but we don't have any French-speaking people. But you are translators, come to translate into French. So we try to educate them about what's the best scenario. And again, you know, it's translation into mother tongue. Because we use Erasmus students and exchange students, we can translate, we can have things translated into French, English, German, Catalan sometimes, Chinese. We had some Chinese students last year and we were able to translate to Chinese. But we need to educate our clients about these things, about work conditions, deadlines, about format. They send us everything in very different formats and then we can't even open them. We send them thousands of documents with very strange names, or file names, and so we try to educate them about this. We're going to move on, I think, for translations, because we're running out of time.
Well, we are going to reach one of the
Hot topics.
controversial topics. We want to ask you just to know what you think, whether the students should be paid for the trainings or not.